Have Napoli got what it takes? 32 years since the last title. Is this their best shot, Gabriel? Is this the moment, the game against Inter Milan? Is this where it starts? That title for the first time?
It's a good question. I think people are slightly sleeping on them because obviously Inter started out so well and Inter still have the game in hand. And, Milan obviously attract a lot of attention because of Ibrahimovic and their comeback, and they're right next to him, and we just had the derby. But yeah, I mean, the numbers don't lie. And Napoli have done it with a lot of people injured and a lot of people unavailable, people who could be coming back.
Only one win, I think, in the last 9 Serie A meetings for Napoli over Inter. Is this game this weekend going to be a must-win for them in terms of their title hopes? If they lose it, do you see any way of them coming back and winning the title?
Well, you're asking two things there. You're asking, is it a must-win or is it a can't lose?
What do you think?
Because we have a draw here, right? I don't think a draw would be disastrous for Napoli at all. Obviously, a win means they go top. So, at least until Inter's game in hand. So, obviously, psychologically, that would be a big boost to everybody. But, there was a moment when we thought they were going to slip behind, and they haven't. They're still right up there. I think top to bottom, in terms of individual ability, they've got a very, very gifted side. And I think right now it's really only, Chucky Lozano is going to be out of this game, and he's a miss. But then again, they can rotate their front men. Osimhen's back. Osimhen, Koulibaly's back after becoming the king of Africa. I mean, come on. I put these things together and I say, the momentum is on their side a little bit, obviously with Inter dropping points in the derby, although they did come back in midweek in the Coppa Italia. So yeah, I think they can do it. Why not?
Again, we are sort of entering the business end of the season. So with the Napoli game being so crucial, but also, of course, the Liverpool game coming up as well, the pressure that gets put on the Champions League games and Serie A as well is huge. One player that's going to be crucial is Edin Dzeko. Gabby, talk to me about Edin Dzeko, because I think there's a lot of pressure on a guy who's going to be 36 next week, according to my calculations, has scored goals for Inter Milan this year. But in terms of Lukaku being the guy last year, and Lautaro Martinez being important as well, Martinez's form has dropped off a little bit, and a few skirmishes outside of that as well. Is it too much pressure to be putting on Dzeko, or is he underrated? Is he that good?
I would say he's that intelligent, because again, Dzeko and City fans and whatnot will know this. And I know it sounds like a cliche, and I'm going to go all Teddy sharing him on you, right? But he's not going to lose his pace, right? It's just not something he had.
Yeah.
But what he does have, he's not just a target man either, right? Because he's such a good passer, and he's so smart, and he has such great awareness. And you saw this very clearly in the derby. What did Dzeko do? I mean, Hugh mentioned it before, right? Or maybe it was you, sorry. They put Kessie on Brozovic, the deep line playmaker, said, we're going to shut this down. So Dzeko said, you know what? I'm going to wander out to the flank slowly, because that's how I move. And then,
ready.
I'll have a mismatch against a defender, or you're going to bring a center back to get me, and that's fine, because I'll beat them, and I'm so good at passing, I'll be able to pass the ball into space. So he was a target man who can play number 10, who can get himself in those positions. So he can make himself useful in many different ways. And obviously, he's older and slower. He hasn't gotten any shorter, so he's still tremendous in the air. His finishing is still really good. Obviously, he needs a certain kind of service, but he's so team-oriented. I think he can, if you ask him to do the things that he can do, he can keep doing them and really being a leader.
Onto the game itself. Let's get some predictions then. I think you alluded to it earlier, Gabriel. I think this is a draw. I think it's got a draw written all over it. I think they sort of take the point and move on. You've got the best defense. And if you look at the XG of 16 goals against for Napoli, the next best is 21. And then the best attack in Inter Milan, their XG is 47. And the next best is miles off that one as well. So I'm fascinated about this one. But I really do think that they will kind of get in each other's way a little bit, and both will be quite happy and too afraid to lose, and might not go and get that win. And I think it will be a draw personally. Gabby, what do you think?
I think it's certainly going to have an impact. I think in Inter's case, obviously Napoli played midweek as well to the Europa League, but I mean, Inter are playing freaking Liverpool, right? That's got to work in your mind too. This is a really tough, we said after the derby, this is a really tough cycle for them with Mourinho's return to Milan in the Coppa Italia, and they cleared that hurdle with Inter beating Roma. I think the absence of Bastoni is going to be problematic. How they resolve it, I assume Fede Di Marco is going to play in the back three, possibly D'Ambrosio. Yeah, I could see it going draw. This could really go anywhere. That said, I see goals here. I see goals because Napoli, I think, can surprise you. You're right. Defensively, they've been incredible, despite the fact that they were without Koulibaly for a stretch. Obviously, Manolas was injured, and then they let him go. For that reason, I don't know if there's a price on the over. I would definitely be tempted. I would definitely be tempted by the overs here.
My personal view is Napoli have to try and get the win, and maybe that opens things up a little bit later in the game for Inter Milan, possibly on the counter attack. Again, I just think you're going to have to keep a close eye on it. And look, I've made so many wrong predictions so far this season that I refuse to stick my neck out because I'm getting hammered in the comments. I want to be brave. I always want to be brave. You're in the hot seat. You've got to say something. But it's going to be a difficult call in this game. Look, if I had to say a scoreline, I'm going to say 1-1. Gab, what do you think?
That sounds right. And again, rationally, I see your logic with it. I just think Napoli right now have the one-on-one unpredictability. I think all season long I've sort of praised Inter about how they kept their heads about them, and they generally have, except for maybe those last 15-20 minutes against Milan, where that was a game that Inter lost, which I thought they played better overall. So I think there's actually going to be goals in this because I think Napoli are playing with house money a little bit. And so for that reason, I'm going to go on a limb and say I'm going to go for the Napoli win here with goals.
Hi guys, James Alcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.